What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and I want to cover tomorrow's games, which is, I think, will be interesting. We have 9-11 backwards, but I'm not really going to be going into the numerical aspect of it. But we do have a Mexico City game, so it'd be nice if we had like the Spurs playing there because we might have an idea, or the Suns, who the public might be pulling for. But even still, I think between the lines, I think we'll have a good night. Tonight we had a good night. We could finish really good depending on how the Nuggets and Warriors finish. I'm curious to see the spread here because Murray's injury I don't think was documented. So I had Nuggets covering the 3.5. Oh wow, they moved to 4. This is crazy. So yeah, they announced that Murray is injured, and I'm just now catching up on this, like the scores. I know the scores. I just checked them a minute ago, but like the line changes. Like this Nuggets one, just a few hours ago was when I realized Murray was ruled out. So weird that I suppose they knew he was injured already, but even still, just weird that the line would move in the Nuggets' favor. So I actually have a firmer belief now we're going to cover this one. When we got the Kings in play, they got some work to do to cover. On the night, we did well. As far as pick'ems, I think we were 8-4. I did miss two unders, and luckily two of our misses were part of the same parlay. I had the Bulls winning. As you can see, that was really close, but we didn't get it, unfortunately. And the Clippers covering in one parlay. So it's always good when that happens instead of just getting one of them. But anyway, yeah, Heat went our way. Pistons is a rough one, looking at the score. Don't know how the game went. Don't know if they were winning by a lot and if people had hedge opportunity. But I went with the money line. The plus 520 was appealing. I thought if there was an upset, that was going to be the one. But yeah, we got the T-Wolves cover, the Thunder cover, the Raptors cover, Heat cover. Knicks was a good one. That was a leg 2. If the Knicks had missed, the Nuggets was going to become a leg 3 for 4 units. But luckily they came through, so we didn't need to worry about that. Sixers, we got that one. We got the Pacers cover. We did really well. Like I said, it was really the two unders I had. I should have known because they were set pretty high. I should have known the Hornets and Pacers were going to go under. But because they haven't gone under much at all this year, I thought we would play the overs. I'm sorry, play the unders because they haven't gone under much. So anyway, we'll have to see how it finishes out. Like I said, I will gladly take a split on these two. Since the Nuggets is a leg 2 for 2 units, obviously, I would prefer that. But yeah, good night. Rockets just made no sense to me. I get AD was probably out, but the Lakers have enough depth that I would think the reigning, again, AFC championship contenders, or I'm sorry, Western championship contenders, getting my sports mixed up here, would be favorites, or at least not underdogs. Or the line moved. I think it might have been at +2 for Houston at the end. Okay, now 1.5. So basically a pick 'em. A reason I love that game. I think people are going to be all over the Lakers. So anyway, that's how we're doing today. Tomorrow is pretty simple. We got 4 plays, and 2 are metrics, and 2 are just because of the lines. And again, I'm going to play them in a way so we should, based off of just the numbers typically bearing out, we should do fine. The way it's going to work is both of these plays are going to be for 1 unit. They're going to be leg 1s. The first play is going to be the Pacers to win straight up. I think it's a perfect game for them to win, for the mere fact, again, I think I had gone into this earlier this year. They treated the Pacers differently this offseason. They treated them differently starting this season, where they reminded me of the Cavs last year, where I think they're going to be the team that has a really good record in coming out of the East, and again, a top 3-4 record. And I think the Bucks are going to have some hiccups early on. So now we're in Indiana, and we have a team of superstars versus a team that's been growing together and has chemistry. And if you look at Denver, that they just won. That's what they're trying to push the most, is a team with chemistry is going to win. If you look at the Heat got there over the Celtics. So now the Celtics are more of a team that is both because they have chemistry and they have superstars. But even still, the Pacers, I don't think the public is sold on them. And 4.5, I feel like is just enough to get people to probably take the spread for Milwaukee as well. So It could be a win, no cover, but I think it's just going to be a win for the Pacers. I don't think it's going to be a win for the Bucks. I think the Pacers are going to win this game. We're going to see some hiccups, notably on defense. They're already talking about the Bucks' poor transition defense, and that's basically because Giannis is fast, but there are faster big men, and obviously Damian has never been known for his defense, so they're going to push that. I always like to say real or fake. I know there's a portion of the audience that believes it's real, so I say that because this is one of those games from a perspective, real or fake. I feel like it just makes sense that the Pacers are going to win. Of course, I'm subscribed to the theory that it's fake, phony, false, fugazi, and it just makes sense for the Pacers to win here. So you're looking at like 140-ish, plus 140-ish, something like that. It's going to be a leg one, as is my play for the under. Again, it's set kind of high, which makes me not love it. But at the same time, they've gone over every game this year except one. Milwaukee's 5-2 on the over, and Indiana is, I believe, 7-1 on the over with a tie, 7-1-1. So I imagine even with this spread, people might see the games that have just been played. The Pacers just went over again, and I think people are going to pound it. So while it could be a higher scoring affair, I'm just going to play the metrics and play this as an under. So I like the under and the Pacers to win outright, leg one unit. Now, unless, it's just a ridiculously close game on both ends, we should have our answer, particularly for the over-under, in time for this game, which is probably going to be about 2 hours and 45 minutes after, because of, tip-off time being late, and because the fact you'll probably have an additional 15 minutes to get pretty close to the pre-game odds, because usually, you're not going to have a team start off 15-0 run or something. So it should be pretty close. My point is, these are going to be leg twos, and only if the Pacers over misses, we're playing the under, so only if the Pacers under misses, and or if the Pacers lose. So if say we go 2-0, these will both be leg ones for one unit. If we do lose one or both of the Pacer games, these will be leg two for 2 units. If we split them, then we're going to split these, and the one that's going to be the leg two is going to be the over. Orlando's only gone over once this year, and I like the metrics more than I like narratives. So I think between both of them, I don't think Orlando's going to continue at 1-7, and then the Pacers move to 8-1. Again, we're almost 10 games into the season, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we're getting pretty close to already about the 20% mark, which, coming up pretty soon. So, around game 15, 16. So we're pretty close to being a good portion into the season, almost a quarter into the season. So I start to rely on the metrics, around this time more. So not to make it too convoluted or complicated. Again, Pacers win, Pacers go under. And say we miss both of them, then we're going to have the Magic Hawks going over as a leg two, and my final play is going to be the Magic. Okay, so if we miss them both, the Magic will be a leg two. The money line is moved from -2 to -3.5. Seems like you could say, oh well, they're trying to get people on the Magic. That could be the case, but a lot of times, very very often, I'll see lines move in favor of a team, and that team is still won. So I don't think about a point, because it was 2.5 to 2, back to 2.5, and then it moved to 3.5. So again, it could be. I don't read too much into the line movement, because if you watch a live game at any point in time, you can get ridiculously good odds that you'd say, oh well, this team's getting 8 points right now, and it's just a matter of when you get in. So I don't look too much into the movement around before the game. As you can see, the Nuggets just moved from 3.5 to 4.5, with, again, Murray being ruled out. So if people didn't have that news, then they got it. I don't know why they'd pound the Nuggets. So sometimes I don't think the lines make too much sense. But the reason I like the Magic to win, I have them and the Pacers both winning. They're both teams at home that are obviously being pushed a little better than last year. The Magic are not a team that I had improving. I had the Pistons improving ahead of the Magic, so we'll have to see if that holds up to be that 10th seed. And the Wizards were Actually, I had the Wizards and the Hornets both ahead of the Magic. So far that's not looking too good as far as my battle of the bottom dwellers. But we'll have to see how that goes. I do have the Hawks falling off a little bit or just being unimpressive. So I do like the Magic, and I did look into the international audience. Obviously, the different international teams and who they appeal to, and there's not a giant, like I said, foundation for either of these teams in Mexico that I could see. There's a lot of appeal for the Suns, the Spurs, the Mavericks, but I did see more articles about the Magic and their work and they did some contributions in Mexico where I didn't see anything really about the Hawks. So it seems like the Magic were better received in Mexico City, Mexico. So I think the Magic will win this game. And again, not to make it too complicated, basically just like I had the Spurs, if you watched my last video, as a leg 2 for 2 units. I had the Knicks covering them. If the Knicks did not, we were going to make the Nuggets a leg 3 for 4 units. This is the same dealio. We have a leg 1 for the Pacers going under and for them to win for 1 unit. And if they both lose, then both of these plays are going to be leg 2s. And if we split them, the leg 2 is going to be the over, the Orlando to go over the Mason number. So, or very close to the Mason number, just kind of mixed around here. But whenever it's that number, sometimes I will recommend buying the half point. Whenever it's a 232, a 233, a 223, I'd always recommend buying the half point just because it's a suspicious number, and I feel like a lot of times it might fall on that. But that's completely up to you. But I really wanted to just get straight if you're tailing everything, I wanted just to get straight, again, the plays. So the only way both of these will be leg 2s for 2 units is if we lose both of our first games of the doubleheader. And the only way the Magic will be a leg 2 is if we lose both games. Because if we get a split, then we're going to play the Magic as a leg 1, part of a new sequence. And we're going to try and close out that other sequence with the over. I like the over. Even though the Magic win offers better odds, I just trust the over more. So, nothing too crazy. We're entering the sweet spot time where it's a good time to start picking college basketball, so I'll be doing that. I'll be posting most of my, because again, I do it with hockey. I do it with the sports that people really don't want to see videos on. They just want to see picks and see winners. So I post them. I'll probably be doing a lot of my basketball ones, my college on Buy Me a Coffee. If you guys want to see my videos, of course, I'll put them out. It's just typically the people that watch the college basketball, the tennis, the golf, I'll do women's Japanese bobsledding if it's going to profit, are the people that are tailing my picks and in my Discord on my Buy Me a Coffee anyway. So that's the reason I'll be most likely at least putting my early college basketball picks on there. But if you want to see college basketball videos, I have no problem putting them out. Again, last year, you can watch the playlist from last year. I have it. You'll see we did very, very well. Probably better than any other sport with college basketball. But we have the college football coming up too. And of course, very quickly, the Thursday night game is coming up too. So I'll be getting all that out. The college game, since I'm an insomniac, that'll probably be out at like 5 a.m. I might put it out sometime tomorrow. Or not the college game, the Thursday game. But we have some time still on that anyway. But I just figured I'd get out tomorrow's NBA picks. And then also just bring up that I will go into college basketball as well. For the spreads, basically, again, it's just if a team's really good against the spread, I'm going to fade them. If they suck against the spread, I'm going to take them. It's worked thus far. Of course, we have some hiccups sometimes. Like in college football, we got LSU who just refuses to go under. But we usually wind up getting enough teams that break the metric and don't defy history. That being said, this coming Saturday, whenever they play, I'm still taking LSU to go under. I don't think they go over again. I just don't see it happening. So yeah, not to ramble. I've been a little busier, as I said before. And I appreciate the well wishes. I was a little sick. I had like a sinus respiratory issue, which has, I'd say, cleared up tremendously. So just kind of needed some tea, some cannabis, and some rest. So that was nice. So I appreciate all the support. I apologize if I was not able to reply to comments. I will do that after this video. I always like to do that immediately. I just even had a hard enough time just getting the video out because I was trying to do a few things. Been assembling a really cool fireplace kit I just got. I ordered it, and pain in the ass. So trying to get that done, and then I'm getting calls from neighbors. Just life, I'm sure you guys understand. But I do like to always reply to all the insight because I like hearing other people's perspectives. So yeah, I did see a lot of it was just saying, get better, and I do appreciate that. Obviously, as I tell everybody, what's most important is positive vibes. So, yeah, I didn't want to make this too long-winded, but just wanted to cover tonight and then cover, well, technically tonight is going to be these two games. Make sure I was clear on the unit amounts and the different contingencies we have, and just recap tonight where it looks like we're going to have a good night. By the time this video is out, you guys will know, because by the time it uploads, the game will probably be over. But hopefully the Warriors, don't get some kind of flurry. Be nice to see the Nuggets pull away and give us a nice another leg to win. It would be definitely a profitable day already. But to get another leg 2 win for 2 units is obviously nice. Pistons win would have been nice. That one's a kick in the gut. Hopefully, I don't know how the game went. They were up maybe by like 10 points, and a few people hedged. I know I didn't say to do that, but some people will just, naturally hedge and take the guaranteed profits. So I don't know what opportunities were there, or if they were just hanging on all game and couldn't get it done. Obviously, they would have covered the money line, or the spread, but I figured I'd go for the money line. And again, I know close doesn't count, but I do think we'll get more of these, especially, I think we'll get them at a better than 5-1 hit rate. So if we're picking games like this, if we get 1 and 5, we're going to profit at plus 520. Break even with juice, but I think there's a good chance we'll even get 2 out of 5. I just don't want to be too risky with it. So it's looking good. We don't have many open sequences, which is great, that's why we didn't have any leg 3s today. It only would have happened if we had 2 head to a leg 2, because, again, if we had a couple leg 2 losses, then we want to close them out. We don't want to have 6 pending leg 3s coming up, and then new sequences too. That's more the money management aspect. I go over that in my Discord, but essentially I like to close the sequences we have open, because, if we do a leg 2, we can't just forget about it. We have to do a leg 3 to hopefully get our 1 unit minimum profit. But at the same time, there's a lot of different plays, so we have to open new sequences too. So there's still a couple open sequences from, say, last Sunday, where I'm saving a leg 3. Like we lost a leg 2 of, I think it was the Bills game. No, we got that back because we made the Chargers a leg 3. But there was another leg 2 we lost. It might have been an over-under. So I'm going to look for the best pick this week. I'm probably going to be a degenerate and go LSU under, and we'll make that a leg 3. So the few open sequences we have, we'll get them closed. But like I said, nothing pressing tomorrow. So the first slate of games will be a leg 1. And just say it's so close you don't know yet, and the magic is about to tip off. Then I would just suggest putting a unit on each. And then I'd imagine by the time the game closes out, the Bucks-Pacers game, it's not going to be too deep into this game. We could always add an additional unit to whichever one we need to. So I know it might sound a little complicated. It's really just a complex Martingale system, and most of you guys know how that works. So anyway, yeah, I'll be trying to cover every sport that I can, but I'll definitely keep the NBA, college football, and NFL videos coming out, as well as, like I said, we'll definitely go into college basketball. Sometimes it's just like 2 in the morning. I'm going over all the over-unders, don't really have time. I'm tired to do a video. I had just done a video on NBA now, and whatever I find I'll post on my Buy Me a Coffee, on my Discords. I try and fish out the absolute best plays I can. It just sometimes takes me a little bit, so especially with 5 different sports going on, including hockey. So yeah, I just wanted to go into that. I know some people wanted to see some college basketball, but again, a lot of the people that want to see it are more just tailing the actual picks, so that's why I figured for those, if more people, don't care too much and they want to see NBA, either way, I'll post all my college basketball picks on the Buy Me a Coffee in my Discord, just because that's the entire purpose is to just make money. It's, there's, obviously we want to point out the narratives and look at suspicious things, but at the end of the day, my goal is to as many people as possible if we can profit. So, as I always say, I appreciate again the well wishings. It really means a lot. And take care and happy earnings.